Hey, Len.
Hey, what's going on? How are you, Rome?
Good. How you doing?
Okay, okay. Do I need some more light? You tell me. I'm, a teacher and you're a student, but really you're a professional now. So,
That's okay. It's enough light.
okay, you let me know. Well, how are you?
Good. How you doing? How was your
Oh,
weekend?
oh, it's good. We've had some really nice weather, so, I'm enjoying it. Going to a lot of soccer games. I'm a big soccer guy. I'm either watching them or I used to be playing them, but now, watching them both in person and on TV. It's a lot of fun.
That's good.
Yeah.
How's the beginning of your week going?
Not bad, not bad. We are getting close to what we call ratings or sweeps in television. And whether you like it or not as a TV person, that's a time of the year when you work on a lot of special projects in a very short period of time. I'd certainly prefer to space it out a little bit more, but we got some good stories coming up. I got to be really careful about what I tell you about them just because, I know that people watch your program, and certainly I can't let them know, anything that they might whisper, over to Channel 3 or Fox 61 or something like that. But we
Right.
got some good stuff. I can tell you, I'll give you one. I'll give you a little hint. We are doing what is one of the biggest stories in our state this year, which is the legalization of cannabis. I can't tell you what in particular we're doing. But I'm sure for you and your viewers, that has been a big story this year, just in terms of what a change, whether it's you're a user or whether you are seeking to get employed by this industry. It's absolutely fascinating. I don't know if you've had anybody on your program talking about it.
Not yet. This will be the
Mhm.
first.
Mhm.
That's a big thing going on in the world right now.
It's just, you can't even conceive of it, Rome. I mean, like, there are 9 different licenses that they're going to be giving out, they're not giving out. You've got to, apply for them and hopefully get them if this is a business you want to get into. But you don't even think about it. There's cultivators, there's micro cultivators, there's retailers, there are hybrid retailers, there's all these different, there's packagers, there's delivery people, then there's people that deliver retail, but then there's people that are only going to deliver business to business, like say from a hemp farm to a packaging company, something like that. So there's going to be a lot of jobs in this industry, I think, if it takes off.
Yeah. So, what's some updates you can talk about that's been going on?
Oh my gosh, so much news. Where do you start? I mean, the beginning of legalized online gambling starting this week. I don't know if that's something you do or you have a lot of friends or viewers that get into that, but there was a slow open or a soft open for the first week, and now they're just going great guns. And frankly, I don't do that kind of gambling. I guess I gamble on the stock market. That's bad enough. But 401k, baby. But anyway, this kind of gambling with people who do it, what they tell me is you could do it before. It wasn't a big deal, but it was getting the payouts was really difficult because it wasn't legal in Connecticut. So I guess now it's a little bit easier.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's been a big story this week. We just had something happen, what was it, yesterday in New Haven, or it may have been today, where I guess the kids had to clear the schoolyard because there was a pit bull running around. It might have attacked one or two of the kids. I can even check you that headline. Let's see. Children hospitalized after being by a pit bull.
Oh, wow.
During recess at a New Haven school. That's one of the big headlines today. Another one is that the FDA is saying that you are probably going to be able to mix and match COVID shots. So let's say you got Pfizer the first time, you might be able to get Moderna for your booster the next time. They haven't really said about like with Johnson & Johnson yet. Like my wife got Johnson & Johnson, I got Moderna. You know how it was. You just got what you get. And so if you got, and it could be anything coming around on the other side. A few other big headlines. I don't know if you heard about this whole thing in Middletown that started blowing up late last week. So the teachers union in Middletown said that they were feeling harassed and intimidated by a number of the upper brass in the Middletown Public Schools central office kind of group. And then this week, what happened is the superintendent was put on administrative leave or something to that effect, and now he's taking a leave of absence, or again, something to that effect. Every organization has a different phrase for what it calls it. So something's going on there. You know, it could be the superintendent's totally in the right. Could be the union is, or you know how it is. Like I used to tell you at school, it's usually somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
So you got that going on too. NBC Connecticut Investigates actually got a story for our newsroom today that there are 2 inmates at Osborne Correctional with Legionnaires disease. That's scary. It's not transmissible, but the thing is, the way that you get it is usually through HVAC or, air systems. And so a lot of times if I recall, it's caused by moisture that gets in the heating ducts and air conditioning ducts.
Yeah.
So, I mean, let's hope that these folks up at Osborne, whether they're inmates or people who work there, that they don't get this. But right now, the DOC says it's only 2. Let's see. We'll see what happens there. Those are some of the biggest headlines today, but it's a busy week on a huge story. Did you hear about that submarine that went on fire?
No, I didn't hear about that.
Okay, so there was a sub out in California. They had a fire. And Joe Courtney is one of our U.S. representatives, and he put out a statement today on it, which frankly was shocking. I didn't realize it was as bad as it was. The submarine, these are nuclear subs, total loss, $3 billion that you and me and taxpayers are all losing out on. And he said that this incident, they didn't even have any fire suppression for 2 hours. They didn't start. And he claimed, and again, it's U.S. Congressman, not me, saying that both the Navy and I believe it was the local fire out there in California somewhere, they really weren't ready for this. They didn't have a plan for if this happened. And then he said they should have learned by what they did, by what happened 10 years ago when there was a similar situation in Miami.
Wow.
$3 billion. That's a lot of cash.
Yeah.
My cash, your cash. Not good. Not good. So those are some of the big ones. I can go on and on and on. I mean, it's earnings time right now on Wall Street. If you follow that, the numbers just keep going up and up. There's just the bank earnings. It's principally been bank earnings that have come out in the last few days. Today, the big story was that Procter and Gamble, which makes every household good you could imagine, like Tide, dishwasher detergent. I think they do Pringles, anything. Wow. And they said toilet paper, soap, any of that stuff, all the things that you can't live without, saying that their prices are going to have to keep going up because of supply chain issues. Have you been talking with your viewers about that kind of stuff? It's a big deal.
Nah, I think I'm going to have to, though.
Yeah, like apparently a lot of it has to do with the port in LA, where I believe it's like 40% of all the imports to the United States come. And that's like a lot of the stuff that you buy on Amazon that we all do. And apparently it only operates 8 hours a day. They just can't get workers or whatever. And so now the federal government's coming in and it's going to make sure it's open 24 hours a day. It's a huge negotiation with unions. There's a lot going on there. But that's one of the biggest reasons that prices are going up, because like, let's say, it's a clothing manufacturer and they're doing, piece goods, and you might get your sleeves from Malaysia and the main part of your shirt from Singapore. Those all come in on ships. But let's say for whatever reason, there's a supply chain issue and you got the sleeves, but you didn't get the main part of the shirt. So all that inventory is just sitting in your factory. And guess what? You're selling those shirts. People want those shirts, but you don't have that many of them. So they're scarce. Price goes up. That's why we're getting inflation. And that's one of the things that's happening now with even just your basic goods. So unfortunately, I think we're going to have a little bit of inflation here. The only good side of this is a lot of people's wages are going up. Some people that really didn't have wage increases for a long time. Have you heard about this nursing home strike?
No, I didn't hear about that.
It's really interesting. I believe it's called Sunrise is the name of the chain. And if I got it wrong, I apologize. But it's a nursing home chain. They started striking last week. And these are people that worked through the pandemic, took care of, your grandma and your grandpa and people like that. Really scary for them. And a lot of them worked without raises for a long time. And a lot of them did extra work because, these places were having trouble hiring people because who wants to work in a place that's a COVID incubator, for lack of a better term, unfortunately, sometimes, by no fault of anyone's. And so they're now saying, you know what? You don't like it? We're sitting out and we want more pay and better benefits and better treatment and more holiday pay. And you're seeing this in a lot of industries now. Have you seen it?
Yeah, I've been seeing it.
And they're calling it the Great Resignation. There are a lot of theories on it. Some people say that because they haven't been vacationing and going out as much, they got a lot more money saved up. A lot of people lost their jobs and collected substantial unemployment for a long time. And so they have nest eggs built up. But I don't think you'd quit your job over that. I think, Rome, it seems like there's something going on that we can't really put our fingers on, but people are just like, you know what? I lost my job in a restaurant or a hotel or at a bar. And, if these jobs are so unvaluable that I'm going to lose it in a pandemic, I want to get something where it's a more permanent. Maybe I got to go back to school and get a degree, or maybe I just want to change into another line of work that's more steady. I don't know. It's a lot of changes we're seeing right now.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. So what news is on your mind? I can always, answer a few questions, even if I don't have it right at my fingertips.
What's like the biggest story of the month that you're trying to get?
Good question. Well, I would say, frankly, the betting has been a big story.
Betting?
That's it. I mean, if you think 10% of our state bets, I would say that's a conservative estimate. And now all of a sudden, it's no holds bar on that. I think, frankly, the cannabis story is a big one. What happened on October 1st is now people who are medical users, not recreational, are allowed to grow at their home. They can grow six plants per person, but you can only grow for 2 people in the house. 3 of the plants have to be immature, which means they're not, there's no buds on them, basically. Yeah. That's the stuff you smoke. And then, so 3 have to be in flower and 3 have to be just in what's called the vegetative state. And then people who want to grow for recreational purposes can't do that until July of 2023. So that's a long ways away. So that's another big story. Another big story is the January 6th commission, the alleged insurrection, or it was an insurrection that took place at the Capitol on January 6th. That House panel is now starting to hold people in contempt of court who aren't coming to testify, like Steve Bannon was one of President Trump's guys.
Yeah.
And then I believe President Trump yesterday or today, he appealed, or I don't know what the word for the action is, but he said, no, I'm not giving over any kind of information about, I guess, he was claiming executive privilege for certain documents or certain intelligence about January 6th. And I don't know how that's all going to go. Big fight. Big fight. What do you think? Do you, it's a question as a news person I've asked myself a lot, do people really want to know more about that? Or they just say, you know what, it was what it was. It was bad. It was good, depending on how you feel politically, but we just need to move on. Or do you feel that, more questions do need to be answered? Because a lot of people feel that our democracy was almost knocked off its.
Yeah, I think some people want to get more information and some people may not. So it would be fair to, give the ones that want the information.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, it's going. It's still going. It'll be going for a long time, I think.
Well, yeah, I appreciate you for doing this. I don't want to take too much of your time.
Nope, no problem. No problem. Love talking news. I do it all day, all night, and I don't sleep very much. Too much to do. But anytime you guys want to have us on, we will always come on and tell you what's cooking.
Okay, see you next Tuesday.
Okay, sounds great. We can do that.
Okay.
All right. You
All
take
right,
care, man. Good seeing you, Rome.
All right, you too. Take care.
Right. Bye-bye.